What is going on, guys? Welcome back. EA has outdone themselves. I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to read the actual website. Season 2, The Wave. Push forward with the wave for the innovators, the originators, and those courageous enough to push the game to the next level. If only that's how the people that worked at EA Sports felt about Madden and not sold us the game. Really, I wish they would be originators. I wish they would be courageous, innovate, and push the game forward. Don't tell your gamers that's what we need to do, but we all know what this is really about. They lead it with Gear Drop, the father of Flash, Chad Johnson, really one of my favorite players, okay? But all they're concerned about now is selling clothing in the yard. Endless Run, the new mode in Superstar Kill mode. Play until you lose and keep drafting along the way. In the Endless Run, become the longest surviving superstar and track your progress. The Odell Beckham Jr. takeover with his signature style on the Nike headquarters field. Just look at what's brought here. The new game mode, like we talked about, Superstar KO. Really, they haven't done much with it, but obviously bringing in Endless Run. The generic gameplay fixes and tuning. They updated the QB slide and the dive mechanic. They streamlined and updated parts of the MUT interface. Franchise in the yard, of course, they get those world-famous stability improvements. Multi-user franchise draft crashes, which have been going on for a very long time, apparently are fixed. And, of course, the aforementioned updates to authenticity we don't need to tell you a lot about. But I'm not going to sit here like I normally do and talk down a new game mode. If they want to put new game modes in, do it all day long. I wish they'd focus on something other than Superstar KO and MUT. But I want to talk about something right here that needs to be mentioned. Because it is November 5th, guys. This is a tweet from July 2nd. July 2nd of Sean Grady making a commitment to fix franchise mode. Okay, it's November 5th. Why are you putting other things in the game if your franchise updates right here don't show that you're fixing it? Okay, don't show the improvements that you promised. General stability does not count. If you can't tell me what you fixed, you didn't fix anything. Why is Superstar KO mode getting new modes when you can't even keep the promise you've made to your community to fix the game modes already existing? Don't give us something new until you fixed what's there. This is the core problem with EA Sports. This is the base problem. Rather than make better what's already in the game, they want to pacify you by adding other things that you never asked for. We don't need Endless Run mode. We've had endless runs of you telling us you fixed your game when you haven't done it. I don't need anything else endless from EA. The list of you trying to fix the game is endless. The list of us asking for you to improve the game, it's endless as well. There's no excuse for a company of this size, scale, and absolutely with the amount of money they're making, that they come out in July and they promise us in November that they are going to make a commitment to fix franchise mode, and it is now November 5th, and not only are the improvements that they told us in the game not included, but they are adding to other game modes. Pull everyone off this stupid Superstar KO mode, pull everyone out of Microsoft Paint or whatever dumb program you're using to draw cleats and gloves, and get them over to franchise mode to fix the game that you told us you would fix when you sold it to us. Then, once that's fixed, you can draw cleats and gloves and shoes all day long. None of us will care. We'll have you upholding the commitment and promise you made to us. This is why when we look at your tweets, when we look at your community leaders, when we look at the people that work at this company, we don't trust any of you. I'm talking to you, Sean. I'm talking to you, Clint. This is why you can block me on Twitter, but we don't trust you as a community because you don't have the backbone to stand up and honor your word to your customer. And then you sit there and you have the audacity to allow your marketing department to come out and say, push it forward for the innovators, the originators, and those courageous enough to push the game to the next level. Not one of you has the balls, I'll say it, not one of you has the balls to walk down to your marketing department and say, hey, listen, you probably don't want to put anything about pushing the game to the next level or talk about innovating or originating or being courageous, because we actually haven't even had the moxie to stand up to offer them what we've promised them. No one in the building can do that. But this is what they continue to do. Market to the lowest common denominator. Market to someone that just wants to spend 5 minutes with their game. Market to someone interested in Ocho Cinco design shoes. You don't have a free agency market that operates properly in your game to allow multi-year contracts. But you have Chad Johnson, who's actually a free agent. Well, he always projects he's a free agent, right? He's always ready to play, right? That's what we love about Chad. He's drawing up uniforms for you to sell. Do you ever wonder why people can say all the bad things they can about 2K, but 2K doesn't have these level problems? Okay, there's really not a lot of companies that bring, maybe this is where the innovation comes from, right? This is innovative issues for a company to face. This is you literally just beyond slapping the customer in the face. And again, the problem becomes the divide in the community as people literally sit there and say, this community is so unappreciative. They got a whole new game mode and they're not even happy. They're not even going to play it. They're not even going to try it. They don't even care. Why should EA do anything when this is the thanks they get for putting in a new game mode? Because you don't fix what's broken before you add something else in. And all we see as a community is you guys continuing to do things other than what we're asking. Okay, we can't enjoy the game until the area in which we play the game is functioning. From there, we will go out, okay? We will look at other game modes. We will attempt to play Superstar KO mode or Madden Ultimate Team or these other modes. Okay, but make sure what we bought the game for is fixed first. Don't try to push us out into these other game modes because you know what we bought it for is continually broken. And every ounce of resources you have, whether you're working from home or not, should be devoted to satisfying the customer that already made the purchase. Not one person asked for you to go make a new game mode. I went and looked. Okay, when you create a term like endless run, which the only thing I could think of is Backbreaker when they had Tackle Alley. But regardless, when you create something called Endless Run, by default, you're making something that no one asked for because you're creating a concept. The whole time we've asked you to fix Superstar KO and MUT and obviously other game modes have came into the game like the Yard, we've continually asked for franchise to be fixed, and you don't seem to want to do that. You don't mind creating all these other game modes, but you're not fixing what we're asking. And until you can do that, videos like this are going to be made every time you have the audacity to patch and update this game and not keep a promise you made since July. A personal promise that you stood in front of a camera with the game behind you at your house and delivered. I don't know how you can have any pride in yourself, your job, your company, or your game when you stand there and you know wholeheartedly you're about to lie to everyone that just purchased a product because you're not willing to keep a commitment that you make. That's why this game has a 0.2 user score, by the way. If anyone over at EA has any questions or wants to know why, that is why. Because your entire community, whether they play franchise or not, has came to the realization that this is how EA treats its customers. And they know that it's only a short period of time before they're next. They understand that what EA did to us, people that built this game's legacy, franchise gamers that bought books, not ebooks, not cheat playbooks, but actual draft guides. Actual guides that went through and showed you, here's the best way to rebuild a franchise. The players that made this game the commercial success it was for nearly 20 years are being thrown to the side so that they can nickel and dime other players with here's a flash in the pan game mode that won't even be here. That won't even matter in 3 years. Just like Longshot. How much money went into Longshot for it to no longer be in the game? So your whole community has actually seen what's taken place. And that's why they fear to invest time, money, and energy into your game. That's why you have to give your game away on a next-gen console. Because you know no one's going to buy it when they look at the other options in the marketplace. Look at what we saw 2K doing yesterday. You don't even have the Yard done right. You were trying to mimic the park and you failed. Well, guess what? Now they upped everything and made a whole city. You can't even get Madden 20 and Madden 19 out of your practice fields. This game is in the worst state it's ever been in, and it's because the people that work on it continue to push it in a direction that is not what the customer wants. I don't know how we're going to get a user lower score. I don't know what else we can do to get your attention, EA. Fix your game and stop putting this fluff in it. We don't want this garbage. Love to know your thoughts on this. Send this over to a developer. Go let Sean Grady know today that you expected this game to be fixed instead of this other fluff mode. If I want fluff, I'll put it on a peanut butter sandwich and I'll eat it. I don't want it in this video game. In the week with more commentary.